We decided to get together to talk a little bit about Welcome Mat. Why don't you kick us off, though, by talking a little bit about what's in the name Welcome Mat?
Again, my name's Christian Sterner. I'm a founder here at WellcomeMat. Largely, our mission is to attach a video to every single property in existence, whether it's for sale, for rent, or for lease. And our means of doing that is by maximizing the value of video for agents, brokers, and brands that are essentially trying to sell themselves as marketers of properties, but also transact on real estate using video content.
And you started this how long ago?
We actually came out as of July of 2006, believe it or not. We primarily focused at the brokerage end of the real estate ecosystem because, quality control became a lot easier. You sort of had people in marketing roles within the brokerage community that really wanted to start using video to differentiate their companies, but also keep an eye on the quality of video that we are pushing out there, which is a huge piece of the ROI.
Okay, so why the pivot now towards sort of an MLS go-to-market business model?
So first of all, we've always felt like our home was with the MLS. Video was for a long time just treated as like a UFO type of content. Photography has often been viewed as the ceiling for MLSs. And so we really want to, push the value of the MLS, extend their value as a single source of truth for all property information and data. And for us, it's always been a very natural home as far as where we belong.
Is it still this sort of mixed bag out there in terms of how people are utilizing mixed media, how they're leveraging it, and what you see sort of as the future of video in that landscape, I guess?
Anyone that spent any time in real estate has seen like a mixed bag of, what our industry is largely referred to as virtual tour content. And largely consumers don't know what they're going to get as far as, that label goes. If they click on a button that says view the virtual tour, it's like, look out, you don't know what you're going to get.
It's interesting because we think about things like how long video's been around and been utilized in real estate, and the MLS is now coming to the table through Welcome Mat. How do you see their entry into this space with so many millions of dollars?
If you're to focus on the things you have control over at this very moment, like our marketing game as an industry needs to be in the most tip top shape that it can possibly be in for the search sites to essentially fill the void that was sort of left by MLS's stopping at photography. We say welcome to the party. For an MLS to now increase the height of that ceiling and start including rich media above photography with things like video, that broad distribution that an MLS is able to provide is invaluable. And there's never really been a more exciting time than right now on the rich media front, because people are just getting really smart about what's actually driving transactions. And, for Welcome Out, we've just always known that video is the most engaging content out there. But again, what is most exciting to Welcome Mat's team is partnering with MLSs and giving, leveling the playing field so that, it's not just really large companies that can reach, sort of every consumer. It's even those individual smaller agents and brokers that are sort of managing their photography and their videos, et cetera, from within the MLS, yet reaching a very broad audience.
Why is that copyright ownership such a focus from your perspective? And in the Welcome Mat, if our users are contributing video through that site, what is their ownership? How's the copyright going to work there?
So just like any other type of listing data, the MLS needs the rights to do everything that they're doing now to extend their value as a single source of truth for all listing data. And the brokers need ownership of the listing data, on a broker by broker basis. And so what we're doing is really maintaining the copyright structure that is in place right now and just extending it to cover more types of content. And that honestly is hugely important. And as far as an example of why that's important. So say, for example, we continue as an industry to use like Vimeo links and YouTube links and all these other video sites that have nothing to do with real estate. It is a violation of their terms of service to apply any type of AI, for example, machine learning, anything you're really trying to do to aggregate analytics. There are all these things that are not possible if MLSs are not the ones taking the bull by the horn, so to speak.
How do platforms like TikTok and its use of video, how have those platforms, one, how do they work in a Welcome Mat world, or how does Welcome Mat work with them? And two, how have they sort of influenced what you've created to help agents put video out there and be comfortable doing it?
What the MLS needs to do is essentially present a distribution vehicle for agents that have a video tour of a home to reach the most amount of consumers. So you don't want to be telling people what types of video content to create because you're just going to get pushback if you do that. And so what you do is you just essentially provide this vehicle, this very flexible way for people to add whatever types of videos they're adding, distribute those videos to social media sites to make sure that they're reaching their sphere of influence, so to speak. But largely what's going to happen is the same thing that happened with photography. When you opened up the MLS to, image uploads, what happened, right? Like we had, I mean, it was always the ongoing joke, like find the worst images that are in the MLS and that kind of thing. But the cream does always rise to the top because if this industry is nothing else, it's extremely competitive.
What are you getting as part of your MLS subscription that you guys don't have to pay for? Because North Star did this, this is what you're getting. But there's more. Like if you're a broker and you want the analytics, you want other things, what's that look like?
We've been essentially retrofitting video, a bucket of virtual tour types, to get a very clear analytical picture of how each form of rich media is performing is pretty difficult. One thing you're not going to have to do anymore is go out to YouTube or Welcome Mat or Vimeo or another video hosting service, upload your video, wait for it to process, manually paste that tour link into your MLS. So when you talk about what you're getting, now you're just uploading a video into the MLS, just like you would upload photos into the MLS. And Welcome Mat is essentially doing the work to auto post branded and unbranded tour links into the MLS database. So we're eliminating that friction. And if you want to replace your video, you don't have to rinse and repeat that manual effort. You're just choosing a new video file, and now the new video is in place where the old video was.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about the ability for brokers to take this to the next level, right? So there is an upgrade here if people want to
Yep.
do it. It's
Yep.
purely by choice, but what's that look like?
The easiest way to just look at the brokerage upsell, so to speak, is just for the brokers that want to integrate not only just their videos, but everyone else's videos, like they're doing with photography. Again, I keep making that analogy
Right.
because brokerages don't want to just represent their own listings on their website. They also want to represent all of the other properties that are available, and they want to use all of those videos from the entire marketplace to reach people via email. They can do SEO on video content for their website. Somebody clicks share from their video player, the video player that they're integrating through the WellcomeMat's service, it's an inbound link into that broker's website. So it's sort of like using video as a magnet to your digital turf, so to speak, as a broker, and just throwing up as big of a bat signal as possible in terms of attracting and retaining consumers on your website, your mobile apps, your emails, all of the things that people do for a brokerage on the marketing side of things.
Very cool.